Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Prison Politics. If these walls could talk, how is everybody doing? Fine, blessed, and highly favored. I hope and trust in God. Thank you for joining us this evening. No, we have not been on all this week, but guess what? Starting next week, Lincoln is going to be hosting Prison Politics from prison. Praise God. And that way, the prisoners will be more comfortable with talking live on the podcast. So they've been working on that. Also, I'm going to post. Oh, I didn't change that. Also, I'm going to post our new number since a lot of prisons have not been able to reach us here in Minnesota with the 7635 3579552. When I get done this evening, I'm going to post a number that you can reach Prison Politics if these walls could talk. I just like to say thank you, Rush City, for reaching out and helping the family with their loved one in prison. Thank you, Lincoln. Thank you, Marty. Great mentors out there at Rush City that's helping the young men, successfully get through this journey and bringing peace and love amongst the brothers out there. And I just want to say congratulations and thank you guys. Thank you, Lincoln and Monty. You're doing a great job. Thank you, COs. Thank you to COs out there at Rush City, because the COs do listen to the inmates. That's a good thing. They are listening to the inmates, and they listen with concern and care. And that's a good thing. That's a great thing in prison. And while we're talking about that, I'm wondering, when is the COs going to get a raise? We need to keep on pressuring them for that. They finally gave the policemen a raise. Did you guys see that? I don't know if I could bring it online live, but they raised the police salary up to $90,000 plus a year. My God, what is that? 9 to 10,000 a month. And jobs like the policemen and the COs, they need to be getting paid a good salary because they got so many people's lives in their hand that they're dealing with. And we want them to do a good job with our loved ones. We want the policemen to do a good job in our community. We want the COs to do a good job with our loved ones in prison. So if they're paid a salary where they could take care of their family and live comfortable, they have no choice. They have no choice but to help be able to do their job, to be able to really serve. Okay, like the policemen are, to serve the community with a good salary. I think that would make it easier for them to serve the community and serve the people. And with the COs with a good salary, I think it would be easier for them to do their jobs as COs out there. They'd be more willing to help the inmates get through this journey that they're going through and be locked up, in cages, like animals. I just really believe they would support them more if they had a better salary. So congratulations, Hennepin County, Minnesota State, for giving the policemen a raise. Now it's time to give the COs a raise. Okay, and I'm quite sure a lot of people that's qualified for police jobs will start applying, because they saying they don't have enough police officers. But with that raise, I'm quite sure a lot of people who is qualified to be a policeman will start applying for that job. And the same thing for COs. Give the COs a raise, Hennepin County, Minnesota State, and that way a lot of people will apply for them jobs because they're understaffed too. And because, like I always talk about, we have to care more about people than we do money. People is more important than money. And again, I say it over and over and over. It's so much turmoil and so much chaos going on in this world. And I really, truly believe it's because society has put money before people. Either in the hospitals and with the pharmacies or whatever, if a person is in the hospital and they don't have good insurance or they don't have enough money to pay for the medical care that they really need, well then, sometimes they don't give it to them, and that's ridiculous. We need to start putting people, human beings, humanity before money. And I really think that it just, I really think that will make our society and will stop some of the discomfort and stop some of the turmoil that's going on in our world today. Love is the key. Love is the answer. And also, I got so many things I want to talk about today, but I'm not going to talk about them because I don't want, because I really want to hear comments from people and what they think about it. But what I was talking so far with the police and the COs, it's time to get the COs raises. The police have got their raises, and I just know they'll do a better job because it's in the book. It's in the book. I want to talk about um, culture language today, but I think I'm gonna wait till tomorrow to do that. I'm not feeling it today, but I did want to talk about culture language. Me and Lincoln was talking about that because a lot of people probably, I know that they be talking about the way I talk here on the platform at Prison Politics, if these walls could talk, but I don't know, because I don't care, because that's the way I talk, you know and I also want to talk about, like, if you got a black person that's not talking what they call proper language, they're saying that they speak in slang. That's not slang language. That's just the way they talk. You know, Black people, just like you got Asians that talk different, you got Somalians that talk different, you have Mexicans that talk different, you have Africans that talk different, um, and you have Black America. They talk different. They're not talking slang. That's just the way they talk. And I really truly believe that Black people who do talk different or proper is because they were taught to talk that way. They were taught from a little kid in school, to talk that way. And I'm not knocking none of the languages, but I'm just saying all of them need to be acceptable in our society. And if a Black person, talk different than a proper person, don't um don't title don't title his language as slang. Don't do that, because that's just the way they talk. I mean, I've had a lot of people ask me, where you from? Because the way I talk, and sometimes I'll get country. I talk just like this, and I don't care what nobody say. You know what I'm saying? I'll be talking, and I just go ahead on and let it go on now. Just be talking just like this, real country, because it's in us. But anyhow, uh, yeah, I think people should feel comfortable with the language that they speak or that they talk, because that's them. That's the way God made them. And it shouldn't be no title on it. Instead of that Black person talking slang, how not about that Black person? That's a Black American talking Black language, not slang. What is slang? Call in or text in a comment and tell me, what is slang? What is slang language? I like to know what it is. And yeah, why? Why? Okay, because maybe you can't understand the way some people talk. But that's the same thing with Mexicans and Asian. You can't understand them unless you go to school and take up Spanish or Hmong, or whatever their language is. So I just think we need to be more lenient with putting titles on the way people talk. Okay. But like I said, we're going to talk about that another day, and I would love to get comments or for people to call in and talk about it. Also, I want to talk about Trump and what do you guys think about Biden's the vice president running for president, a female. I have a lot of things I want to talk about, and I want people to join in on us. I got, if you look on the Facebook, you can see where we have a link where you could go on that link and you could join in live with us. Join in live with us. But again, if this is your first time watching Prison, also I have a few prisoners want to be on here live next week. We got a lot of stuff coming up next week. Praise the Lord. Got prisoners who want to be live on here next week talking about the prisons. Um, what kind of activities and what kind of things they got going on in prison, and what activities and things that are needed in the prisons. And I don't know. So far, what I've been seeing and hearing, society is really starting to turn back around toward God and really starting to care and really starting to reach out and do things a little bit more according to the way God wants them to do it. Society is looks like they're starting to pay more attention and starting to do more of God's law. I see it. I'm seeing it everywhere. Do you guys see it? Send me a text or comment and let me know. Do you see that? Do you see a change? Do you see us changing our society? Do you see a change in our world? Do you see a change in our community? Do you see a change with our leaders? Do you see a change with our preachers? Do you see a change with our politicians? Send me a text or a comment and let me know. Other than that, that's it. Like I said, we got Friday. I'm a be live tomorrow, Friday. I mean Saturday and Sunday, for 2 or 3 hours for us to talk about a lot of things, because we have a lot of things to talk about. There's so much going on nowadays. Praise God. But until then, again, this is Prison Politics. If These Walls Could Talk, a podcast created by Lincoln Lamar Caldwell for prisoners to call and get support, get outside support in every way, in any way that we can help them. A lot of prisoners don't have outside support. A lot of prisoners don't have no one to call, and we are here for them. And the prisons, I like to thank the prisons because the prisons do work with us. They got mad at us that day that the guys had the riots out at Stillwater. Excuse me. And I don't know why. To this day, I still don't know why they got mad at the podcast for the guys calling the podcast the day that they had the standoff at Stillwater. And then David and Marvina, they slunk that water thing in there, uh, about the water out there, and they started getting water, which that had nothing to do with the guys calling the podcast saying that they was having a stand up. They was having a standoff. The standoff was because they were locked. They was tired of being locked down in their cells 24 hours a day. And anyhow, that water thing got thrown in there, but that's not what the standoff was about. And the prisons, they blocked Prison Politics, If These Walls Could Talk phone number, you know, from prisoners calling. So again, I said, I'm not understanding that part, but the prisons do work with us. They do work with us in communicating and supporting prisoners. I must give them that credit. The prisons do work with us. Um, they do, and I think what it boils down to is how can not only the prisons, but that goes for leaders and stuff in the community. How can anybody work with us or help us if we don't reach out to them and let them know what we need or what we expect out of them? So that all boils down to what? Communication. And that's why I say communication is very important. We all have a voice, and it's time for us to use our voice. But don't use your voice to talk behind the scenes. Use your voice to say what is needed in our community. What is needed with our family, what is needed, what do we expect? Don't get behind the scenes and say, well, they're not doing this, they're not doing that. We expected them to do this, but they're not. No, you can't do that. You got to face, communicate with them. You got to face them and let them know, this is what we need. And I really feel that this podcast, we're very authentic, and that's what we do. We speak on things that need to be done in the community, in the judicial system, and in our society, because this is what it's for. a voice and to make a change. And it's making a change, praise God. And like I say, it's a faith-based podcast. Even though we're not getting donations, we don't get no grants, no money or anything. We're independent. But you know what's so important and what's good? Even though we're not getting grants, we're not getting Fed, state, government money, even though we're not nonprofit and we're not getting no donations, we're paying for this out of our pocket. But you know what we are getting? Good results. Darn good results, praise God. And that's what's important. That's what count. And that's what we're hoping and praying and trusting that other organizations and programs are seeking more of. Okay, with that, I'm going to say I love you guys. Again, I'm going to post our new number, 651 373 2108. You got a loved one in prison, having to call us if they need support, help. Maybe they just need someone to call and talk to. We are here. Our lines are open 24 hours for prisoners. We get calls from prisoners every day. Today, I have not got a call from a prisoner. And they must be locked down. I don't know. Maybe they're going through training. But today, out of 4 years, is that I have not gotten a call from a prisoner. Today, I haven't. And I'll probably be calling down there seeing what's going on. Hi, Marion. I see you. I see you, Marion. Marion out there doing her job. She's staying busy in the community and she's staying busy doing what God's leading and guiding her to do it. Marion is on it every day. We need more people like that. Yes, we do. But anyhow, again, thank you for joining us. Thank you, followers. Uh, Thank you for everyone who's following. Thank the audience. We thank you guys for following us, and we thank you for the comments. Neil, that you sent in. Thank you, Neil. Neil be sending in comments. You know, Neil has a voice. Thank you, Neil. We have heard your voice, Neil. And I was just telling Lincoln the other day, from now on, when people send in comments and texts, that if it's okay with them, I'll bring their comments and their text to the table, to the platform, and share with the audience. And you guys could respond back with respond back with comments or texts, or, just to respond. Communication, just to keep the communication going. Okay. Okay. So again, with that, I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow evening between 5 and 7. And remember, prayer changes things. You see how prayer changes things? Prayer changes things, people. Prayer changes people. Prayer changes things. Faith open doors. See how faith is opening doors? You see how faith is just, opening doors, and things are changing for the better. And faith open prison doors too. With that, I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow between 5 and 7. Join in with us on Facebook. You can see us on Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram, right here at Prison Politics. If these walls could talk. Love you guys. Peace. I know I'm looking at the list. It's a lot of things that I do want to talk about, but again, like I said, join in with me tomorrow, and we're up for anything. We're up for all discussions. We're up for anything, and please let your voice be heard. All right, see you guys.